And I want to transition our conversation into your show rules book, kind of this. It's like the show Bible. People refer to it as sometimes when they're on the show. This is well. First of all, why don't you tell us what is this show Bible? What does that even mean for the people that may not know? And then I want to dive into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the background of it is that Lucy Forbes, director, good friend of mine, a long-term collaborator. I've been working with her for 12 years, I think it is. Before we got The End of the Effing World, we shot a show called In My Skin. We shot a pilot called In My Skin. Again, exceptionally low budget. That pilot got her The End of the Effing World, and it got me The End of the Effing World. In order to cope with the restrictions on that show, we came up with what we thought was absolute genius at the time. It turns out everyone does it. A rule book, a shooting rule book with sort of 10 rules which we'd always obey. And it made live shooting that show a lot easier, and it gave it a bit of style. And so when we got The End of the Effing World, we decided to do exactly the same thing, which was to come up with quite a strict rule book with a list of sort of visual rules which we would always follow. It turns out that people do that all the time, apparently. But we were we were very tough with it, but also exceptionally strict with it, and we stuck to it almost 100% for The End of the Effing World. And you know, those sort of limitations, you know, you set yourself these limitations, and the limitations give a style, and it forces you to work creatively within those, and it's just such a great way of working. I would highly recommend it, and I've got in front of me a 19-page rule book. Also, the rule book, which is also very handy, is, you know, so I shot the first half of the show. Another DOP called Ben Todd shot the second half of the show, and this rule book allows you to do a handover to the second block and say, look, this is what we're doing. So you have some continuity of style, and with the other DOP or other DOPs on bigger jobs working within that.
You came in on season 2. Now, I know you developed a rule book for season 2, but did you have anything guiding you from season 1, or were you able to just kind of start from scratch on your season?
We had a couple of little notes from season 1, but certainly no rule book. But obviously we've got the show to look at. But we were generally left on our own to our own devices to come up with a rule book for season 2.